What's good, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. I am your host, Leon Jones. You can catch me on Blog Talk Radio every Saturday from 12 to 2. That's Blog Talk Radio / 411 Talk Zone radio show. Call-in number is 215-383-5785. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm bringing you the best content that YouTube has to offer for educational purposes. Also, if you have a comment, always leave a comment in my comment box. Be pithy. Understand the context. I know I got a comment from somebody yesterday. I'm not going to bring her name up. But you must listen to the video before you make a comment. When it comes to a number of females, their reactions are always personal and emotional. Here's my disclaimer that I'm going to put out to black women. Starting with my definition of the modern day black woman. The modern day black woman has a feminist mentality, a matriarchal mentality, and a white supremacist mentality. Some of the things she does are based off of what she's been told by the white man. Now, this does not have anything to do with dating white men. It's the white supremacist mentality. The non-family mentality. You don't want a man to lead. That's the modern day black woman. The disclaimer is, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If the shoe fits, you wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. Now, for today's topic, I'm going to tell you all how to minimize white supremacy in your life. So the name of this video is Minimizing White Supremacy. Last week, Sunday and Monday, I was very balanced and I did 21 harsh truths that black people don't want to hear and 21 harsh truths that white people don't want to hear. So now I'm going to tie it together. And this could help both black people and white people. Because you have to identify the problem to see if there is a problem. And then come up with a solution. Now, every solution that I come up with is not set in stone. However, when you come up with a solution, you have something that you can build from. It can always be changed. Now, the first order of business is very obvious. Now, I'm getting this information, again, from Diary of an Egress. You could go ahead and put that link in your address bar, look it up, and you'll find the information where I got it from. This is valid information. Okay. Number one, first order of business. Stop fornicating with white people. In other words, don't plant your seed in a white woman. And that's from a black man's perspective. Because once you put your seed in a white woman, you have a mixed child, which if we go by the one-drop rule, child's still black. Now you have two cultures you're dealing with, and the white and the black family could have some contention because of the tensions between black people and white people in some areas of the country. Number two, this is an easy one and I've always mentioned it. Stop spending money in their stores. Shop in our stores and ours alone. This goes back to what I've said. And it's going to connect to another part of this topic. Black men, we have to think collectively what the minds of building and maintaining the community, and part of that is understanding economics, politics, so we can build our own businesses, manufacture our own products. Now, we can invite other races of people into our community so they can buy our products. Once they buy our products, we keep the money in our community so we can grow. Economic growth. We have to think that way. If we don't think that way, we're never going to have a community of resources nor an economy that can grow. And also creates jobs, so we don't have to depend on white folk for jobs. Number 3, keep communication with them at an absolute minimum. Now, I don't agree with that, because you have to understand what they do. Now, of course, with this Eurocentricism type of system that we live in, you have to understand how it works. Because Ray Kroc came up with McDonald's. Now, a lot of multi-level marketing companies such as Amway have used that system of success. It's called duplication. Well, we can duplicate what white folk have done because it does work. What they've done has made billions of dollars and created billions of jobs. So we need to understand their system, but we can implement our own and add some of the information that has worked for white folk. Number 4, sisters, you're very beautiful. And we brothers need to tell you that. And that is our fault. Stop buying hair. However, if you're going to do that, you own a beauty salon or the beauty shop because you know what's best for African American hair better than anybody does. Why spend billions of dollars and have a Korean sell you a product that you already know about yourself? He or she doesn't. And a Korean will not be in the neighborhood if, again, you had the business of selling beauty supplies. And some of you, if you learn how to do your hair, you won't even need to buy extra hair. But it's up to us brothers to tell you you're beautiful. I mean, I know it's hard for both black men and black women. And this is where white supremacy has beaten us down, because it's told us that we have to do everything by way of a Eurocentric process, which is absolutely asinine. This is why we have to learn about our own identity. Number 5, please turn off the idiot box, known as the television. Now, to go back to something I said yesterday in one of my videos about modern day black women, white men, what's been told, I did mention media. Let me clarify that and say social media, because that's the information that we're all looking at to present videos. And it's also academic papers. I call that media as well. Articles. This is where we are getting our information from based on what's going on with our community, the white community. Now, every piece of media that's put out is not always true. TMZ. If you like gossip, you watch that. I don't like gossip. Again, I try to keep everything fair and balanced, just like Fox News. So, turn off the idiot box. Unless you're going to watch something that is going to stimulate your mind. Learn European history. Again, if you understand how the Europeans have set up their own market and how their society works, you can understand the Eurocentric system a lot better. See, what it is we've had our identity stolen from us when Europeans settled over here and enslaved us. We're doing everything their way because we were forced. But understand their structure. We can use it. Again, it can help stimulate us as black people, so we will be politically, socially, and economically dependent on ourselves instead of white folk. I'm going to say number 7. Stop calling each other niggers, bitches, and whatever dirty words pop out of your mouth. You know, something that I didn't mention in my video yesterday when I was talking about the mainstream media allowing the modern day black woman at that time, who was now my age, on these shows like Sally Jesse Raphael, Geraldo, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake. Something that did occur, and it was between, I'm going to say 1993 and the mid-2000s, was the glorification of rap music. That's where you heard terms like these hoes ain't loyal, bitches and hoes. To me, that's also mainstream media, and it's the Jewish folk who own the record companies. So that's also going to offset what I said about what was going on in the media when black women were on national white media talking about us. Well, we were recording songs about black women in a derogatory way. Now, here's the only difference. What you saw black women doing was all over the television. Now, what we did was wrong. Now, you had some white folk that did listen to rap music, but for the most part, the rap music was part of the black community, and they have as many. It has grown, but in the midst of everything, stop using derogatory language to one another, even if it's colloquialism, which means slang. I took some of this information from Dr. Boyce Watkins. I don't agree with everything he says, but I paraphrased it to my specifications. So this is number 8. Every black child should be homeschooled, even if they go to school somewhere else. Again, we can learn about our own history once we research it and teach it to our children. Certainly we can go to public schools as well. But when we know who we are, it's much easier for us to identify with the community. So the only community we know as black folk is what's been rightly given to us or told to us. So, brothers and sisters, have children, homeschool them. You can teach them all the social, all the economics from home from a realistic standpoint. But make sure, don't give them propaganda. Know the subject yourself if you homeschool your children. I'm going to say number 9. Every black child should be taught the basics of entrepreneurship. Now that is going to connect the dots with what I said. Number 2, entrepreneurship is very important. Understanding business, understanding how the economy works. This is why we have to understand in Eurocentrism how they work an economy. We can take something from somebody else and implement it. We'll put our own culture in it. I guarantee we all do that if we cook. That's why there are many versions of spaghetti. Some people, like myself, like it with meat. Some like it with vegetables. But we took that recipe, put the same ingredients, but accustomed it to our own liking. That's what you do with entrepreneurship. It is very important. Our education keeps us working for white folk and making them rich. And as black folk, you might have 1 in a million become CEOs, but for the most part, we become lower level supervisors. We don't get into the middle management. The middle management is where the decision-making process is in a company. When you get into executive management, you're only making decisions for executives, so you don't know about what's going on the operations level. So understanding entrepreneurship is a key to a successful economy. Therefore, we work for ourselves. We don't have to worry about white folk offering us a job. We keep innovating because black folk have created some of the best products that we're using today, although they didn't get credit for it. I'm going to come up with a future video with some products that black folk invented. Number 10. We have colleges out there. We've always paid the cost for our freedom, and we have to continue to do that. We have to fight like hell. That's why we have to understand the political process, the judicial process. It's not fair, but we must understand it. Now, one thing that we need to do is start supporting our black institutions like Virginia State, Virginia Union, Hampton University, to name a few. That's what we need to do, because they're going to teach us what we need, and hire black instructors. And I'm not just talking about in the social science, the English department. I'm talking about in the science and math departments, because I attended Virginia Union University in Richmond, Virginia back in 1983, and most of the instructors that I had for the science and math were white. You had a few Indians as well, but most of them were white. But the black instructors were in the social science part. So that means, as black people, when we go to college, we need to beef up on studying better majors like business, engineering, science, health, and technology. That's where the market is. We also need educators as well. You mix all those together, you have a good education system. We can form our own schools and support our existing institutions, our HBCUs, and teach our children the value of college education for social skills, economic skills, mathematics, writing, you name it, to be productive citizens in America. Number 11, rebuild the family. The family unit was broken. And what I mean by the family unit being broken, again, welfare attributed to that, the government. We need to change our mindset that government is not the end-all be-all. Free market enterprise is what you need to have. The system is never going to make you rich. It's going to always keep you poor and dependent. It's called slavery. Remember, the theme of the United Negro College Fund is a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Number 12 must be economically intelligent. Good money managers. If you manage money correctly, you pay your bills on time, you keep your credit rating up, you're able to get loans. This is why also you need to understand percentages, interest, principles, accounting, learn how to balance a checkbook, and also buying habits. Don't buy something you don't need. Don't spend more than you make. And you don't have to have the latest gizmo. I know my last name is Jones, but you can't keep up with the Joneses. So being economically smart is learning how to balance a checkbook. Use a spreadsheet. Calculate the amount of money that you're spending. Then you take your expenses and divide it by your monthly income. That's called debt to income ratio. You want it to be about 20%, 30%. Starts getting 50% and above, you're spending too much. Understand savings. If you have to save it in a shoebox, save money for a rainy day. Health savings accounts. But you always want to keep money in your pocket for a rainy day. Last but not least, decentralize the modern black leadership. In other words, get rid of the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons. Their rhetoric is long past. Let's come up to 2016. We already understand the civil rights, but when you hear some of these so-called black leaders preach, I feel like I'm marching on Selma, but at the end of the day, my feet are going in Epsom salt because they're sore. I'm wasting my time. Things aren't going to change unless we have the people in place who are technologically savvy, scientifically savvy, and they're really for us. These clowns, they make money off of us being victims. So provide new leadership, and the leadership should come from individuals in the community. This is why I say, brothers, step your game up. Start being leaders. And you're going to hear me say this in a number of my videos. Stop committing crimes, useless crimes, killing one another, stealing. Because all you're doing is going to jail, and white folks are making money off of you being in jail. And besides, a lot of you brothers just don't have it to be criminals. You're not good at it. You don't plan. So put the criminality up and get some education. Whether it's college, military, or trade, you have options. Don't screw it up before you can use those options. Once you go in jail, you can't go in the military. You got a bad work record, you can't work for the government. Hell, some trade schools might not take you. So be smart. Utilize your common sense. We have war every day, but we can get through it. Change your mindset. Once you do that, you can be economically free. And that's how you rise above white supremacy / racism. I'd like to thank you again for listening to this episode of the 401 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. I am your host, Leon Jones. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can continue to bring you the best content for educational purposes. Always remember, be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Know that the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. Be kind to each other. I'm out.